Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for tuning in to the 2020 Valley Center Stampede Rodeo Queen Pageant. Our contestants have already done their horsemanship, interview, and test. Today, they will be doing their impromptu question, speech, and modeling. We are so proud of each and every one of these contestants for the hard work they have poured into being here today. We are celebrating the 100th anniversary of women's right to vote. Our young miss, junior queen, and queen all have speech topics about women in the Cowgirl Hall of Fame. We hope you enjoy and can help us cheer these contestants on. So what's the best part of the pageant?
The best part for me is seeing that the girls all create these friendships. Yesterday, one of the young misses got all the others together on a Zoom meeting. They're all, on their computers at home because we have to social distance, but they're all quizzing each other on personality and knowledge questions, getting ready for this.
Can you tell us a little bit about your experience and background with horses and what makes you such a qualified addition to our panel?
Oh, I don't know if I'm a qualified addition or not, but I trained ring cow horses. I'm a world champion in the NRCHA, and I trained some national champions. I'm a 2A judge in the NRCHA, and I'm an AQHA judge, and I've been the director of judges in the NSHA. So I've done quite a bit of judging. I have won competitions over in Europe and all over the United States, so I've kind of made a life of horses for sure.
I have been riding horses for over 50 years. I have been a riding instructor for over 25 years. I have competed professionally in multitudes of events. I worked with my husband and son doing the roping. I was involved with ropings quite a bit in the rodeo and jackpots. I have produced myself and judge multiple events, working equitation, cowboy dressage, obstacle challenges. With the EXCA ACTA, I've competed in all of them professionally, done fairly well, did really well last year in the working equitation, which is the new sport.
Used to ride horses as a kid, but I got back into horses about 15 years ago, and it's been quite a learning experience. Riding in parades throughout the county and the state of California and Arizona, and riding in the Rose Parade was quite an honor.
Can you tell us a little bit about the experience of being a judge?
You just sit there and you do your best to sort the girls out and judge them as they are, and at the end of the day you hope you pick the right winner.
Horsemanship is always the number one goal, and so these girls need to understand when they're out there in a rodeo on a horse, people are still looking at them. They need to have good horsemanship, along with all that comes with it, which is very important. All of it has a part of it.
This is quite an honor to do this and watching these girls perform. I've seen these girls over the years ride their horses, but I'm really impressed with some of them, most of them, how they're riding their horses and controlling them.
How long have you been directing this pageant?
I believe that 2015 was my first pageant that we put together, and it's been really fun to see it kind of morph into such a big community event. So many people come together and support these girls. The Yates family is so nice to let us use this property to have the pageant. It creates a beautiful location for the girls to come and compete at.
I wasn't raised in a castle. I grew up on the outskirts of town. No dresses with golden tassels. The rings on my hand are handed down. But I'm gonna find the one that needs me, sees me, and treats me like I'm already royalty. There ain't nothing priceless on my wrist. I might not fly private, but that don't mean I ain't a queen. Queens don't hate, queens don't fight, queens don't stay.
There are many reasons why I love my horse Jackpot. He's my best friend. I can tell him any secret in the world, and I know he'll never tell. He is always happy to see me and makes me smile no matter what. He always comes up to me when I arrive, and it's not just because I had treats for him. He always protects me when I'm with him, and I know he will never hurt me. When I'm with him, I can do anything. I can fly. He definitely keeps me on my toes. As most of you saw last horsemanship, he can be a bit of a stubborn boy. But that's okay, because my mom says I can be that in the same way. I don't think so. Everyone who meets us knows I am his girl and he is my heart horse. I don't think any little girl ever loved her horse as much as I love Jackpot. Oh, and one more thing. Aunt Lisa, it's your turn this year. Please stand up. Thank you for taking care of my best friend when I'm not there. I wouldn't be here without you. I love you. Thank you.
Grace, name 3 rodeo events.
3 rodeo events are barrel racing, bareback riding, and saddle bronc riding.
What are the 2 rough stock events?
The 2 rough stock events are bull riding and saddle bronc riding.
Grace, if you could have any kind of horse, what kind would it be and why?
Well, it would be my horse right now, Jackpot, because I love him and sometimes he's really kind and sweet.
Thank you.
What was the best part about your year as a queen?
My best part of being a queen was probably going to all the rodeos and events and parades and representing my hometown, and I loved it.
Who doesn't know what I'm talking about? Who's never left home? Who's never struck out to find a dream and a life of their own? Place in the clouds, a foundation of soul. Many precede and many will follow.
There are so many reasons why I love my horse, Buckalina. Buckalina is a 14-3, 12-year-old grade buckskin mare. Every time we meet, she greets me with bright eyes and an eager nuzzle. It just makes me happy from the inside out. So much fun to brush and keep clean, and her long mane and tail is fun to braid. Her clever personality makes me giggle as she checks my pockets for treats and scratches my head when she wants an itch. Buckalina has given me the confidence and courage. I have only been riding for about a year, and Buckalina has helped me to believe in myself and improve my riding. Buckalina helps me. She gives me honest, steady work and never bolts, bucks, or shies away from anything. Buckalina is the best teacher I've ever had. The top reason I love my horse, Buckalina, is she shows me unconditional love. Buckalina shows me kindness, patience, and understanding. And it makes you to be a better person, and it makes you understand what it's like to to spread that kindness to other people. Buckalina. I love Buckalina. From the day we met, I knew she was special. And since then, she has galloped into my life and stolen my heart.
Catherine, name 3 rodeo events.
3 rodeo events is barrel racing, bronc riding, and calf roping.
Name 2 rough stock events.
2 rough stock events is bronc riding and bareback bronc.
If you could have any kind of horse, what kind would it be and why?
Well, I already have my dream horse, but I'd probably have a buckskin that's basically pink and purple.
I'm setting out into the great unknown. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm ready to live out every single dream. I'm stronger than I seem, getting fearless. And nothing's gonna hold me back. I'm gonna ride, I'm riding free. So come on, let's go along, come on, let's journey with me. I'm gonna ride.
Hi, my name is Ryder. I love my horse and I love my horse. I take her out for a walk and I love her taking her out for places and I love her taking her when I was to go with her. And I love brushing her hair and I love braiding her hair. And I love riding her mostly.
Ryder, name 3 rodeo events.
Pageant, Stampede, Rodeo.
Name 2 rough stock events.
Bull riding and I forgot.
Ryder, if you could have any kind of horse, what kind would it be and why?
A Pasofino. Because I love Pasofinos because I wanted one when I was little. Thank you.
go to. It's more a place to travel through. It doesn't look like much, but it's way more than enough. It fits me right. And you can take me far away. You can never take this part of me. You can take.
When you think of a rodeo legend, who comes to mind? I bet some of you are thinking of Jim Shoulders, Trevor Brazil, or maybe even Sage Kimzey. But I think of someone who changed the direction of rodeo entirely. Historically, rodeo is a male-dominated sport, but recently things have been changing. Jane Rivercombe has been making headway for women in roughstock events since March 2017. Winning several rodeos and holding rodeo queen titles has made her a modern-day inspiration to girls like me. However, the pathway for women bronc riding started long before Jane, with an independent, determined, and spirited woman by the name of Lulu Bell Parr. Lulu Bell Parr was born in Indiana, 1876. Orphaned at the age of 3, she found herself longing for a connection to horses. Before she was 8, she knew she wanted to be a champion, and began pursuing her career in rodeo. Parr was determined to make history. While beginning to make a name for herself, she found work at Ponyville's Wild West show. Here she found her talents for sharpshooting, trick riding, and craziest of all, buffalo riding. Now, I've never ridden a buffalo before, but my horse Cece can get pretty wild sometimes, and I'm starting to think she might be a long-lost cousin. It wasn't until she won the title, Champion Lady Bucking Horse Rider of the World, that she began to pave way for women in rodeo. In 2005, she was inducted into the National Cowgirl Hall of Fame, but her success story was far from easy. Lulu Bell Parr grew up very poor, but was known for her sense of style on the rodeo circuit. You could always tell if she was riding a bronc, because of her bright-colored and flamboyant outfits couldn't be missed. She wasn't going to let anything stop her from bronc riding, even if that meant making her own clothes. This is the kind of determination I see in myself. Now, I didn't grow up on a ranch or in a rodeo family. I didn't even start riding until a few years ago, and I've certainly never tried my hand at buffalo riding. But that doesn't matter, because Lulu Bell Parr showed me that it only takes 3 things to become a champion: determination, independence, and spirit. And just ask my mom, I have plenty of the last 2. Although the chance at a world championship is rare, and even more rare for a woman, Lulu Bell Parr showed me that it only takes 3 things to become a champion: determination, independence, and spirit. Although it's just Lulu Bell Parr paved way to see names like Bonnie Carroll, Tad Lucas, and Jane Rivercombe to see their name in the National Cowgirl Hall of Fame. And who knows, you might just see my name right next to them someday.
Sophia, where is a horse's blind spot?
A horse's blind spot is on its rear end and on its shoulders.
What is the Cowboy Turtle Association and why was it named that?
I'm sorry, I don't quite know that.
How are women in rodeo influential?
Women in rodeo are influential because it supports our new generations coming up. Seeing women ride bronc and barrel racing just inspires new riders yet to come.
So what was your favorite part about this last year?
There was a lot of fun memories this last year, but my favorite part was probably the Valley Center Rodeo because it's my hometown rodeo and I love representing this title there.
In the days of the black-haired mine, back in 1887, up through the bottom of the Gibson shine, like a morning star, and through these troubled times, I'll say this one.
It's 1924, at a Texas rodeo. Her heart pounds loudly as she waits for the steer to come out of the chute. The steer releases the barrier rope as he takes off into the arena. She quickly follows, catching up as fast as possible. She then slides off her galloping horse, grabbing the steer by the horns, kicking up dust as she plants her feet to the ground. She then wrestles the large animal till he is down, with all 4 legs in the air, earning an outstanding time of 17 seconds and sets the record. In this moment, she looks about the roaring crowd, still hugging the neck of the steer, and she gives the biggest smile. This tough cowgirl is Eloise Fox Hastings Wilson, one of the very first women bulldoggers. Fox is also a bronc and shark rider at many rodeos. But as you know, rodeo is always changing. Women were soon taken out of most of these events. I think it's important to know our Western history and to evolve in order to keep the sport alive. Every year, inspiring women are making rodeo history. Whether you are Fox, who is in the National Cowboys Hall of Fame, Miss Rodeo America, Jordan Tierney, barrel racing champion Haley Kinzel, bronc rider Jane Rivercombe, or a girl holding a Young Miss title, sharing her love of rodeo. One thing these women of the past and present have in common is turning can'ts into cans and dreams into plans. Everyone, no matter how big or small, will have an important role in contributing to the year 2020's rodeo history.
Stella, where is a horse's blind spot?
Right in front of the horse where the forehead is. They cannot see right in front of them, only on the sides.
What is the Cowboy Turtle Association and why was it named that?
The Cowboys Turtle Association is what the PRCA was first called when they were really slow to start but were brave enough to stick their necks out.
How are women in rodeo influential?
Women are influential because they do so much and they are always trying their best to make it fair so that they can compete in PRCA rodeos. Let any normally healthy woman who is ordinarily strong screw up her courage and tackle a bucking bronco, and she will find the most fascinating pastime in the field of feminine athletic endeavor. There is nothing to compare to increase the joy of living, and once accomplished, she will have more real fun than any pink tea, theater party, or ballroom anywhere. This is a quote from the remarkable Mary Emma Manning Lilly in 1907. This incredible woman from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, known as May Lilly, married Pawnee Bill in 1886 and helped him found and manage a Wild West show, which at one point traveled the world and employed almost 700 people. But really, we would expect nothing less from a gal whose wedding gift was a pony and a Marlin 22 target rifle. Can you imagine a better gift? I certainly can't. In fact, one night, not too long ago, my own affinity for a rifle emerged. As the sun was setting, my mom went out for a short run while I was taking a shower. After getting out, I decided it was getting dark and late, so I called. She didn't answer. I called again. Voicemail.
I called one more time. Nothing. So what did I do? In true Wild West fashion, I grabbed the shotgun, unloaded of course, and started walking down the driveway in my bathrobe, wet hair, and cowboy boots. I had no clue what I would encounter, but I was ready. And I can imagine May Lily having the guts to do the same thing. By the way, if you want to know how the story ended, I got about halfway down the driveway when my mom called. Her ringer had been off. But not only was May Lily an expert sharpshooter and true lady of the Wild West, this brilliant, hardworking woman was a successful rancher as well. A champion of the bison, which runs from the Great Plains in large herds and was almost extinct by the late 1800s. She dedicated herself to the conservation and promotion of buffalo in the United States. May Lily passed away on September 17, 1936, but not before seeing the passage of the 19th Amendment granting women the right to vote, 100 years ago this year. May Lily helped pave the way not only for women's right to vote, but also for all of us today to participate in and enjoy the modern rodeo that we have today. I will think of her each time I have the need to grab a shotgun, and thank her each time I get ready to chase the cans on the back of my horse.
Kate, where is a horse's blind spot?
A horse's blind spot is right under its stomach.
What is the Cowboy Turtle Association and why was it named that?
The Cowboy Turtle Association was the first name for the PRCA. It was in 1936 and it was because rodeo was just coming out of its shell. That's why they said the Turtles Association.
Why are women in rodeo influential?
Women in rodeo are influential because they are just really love to inspire kids and other people, and they really want to support and enjoy and have other people enjoy rodeo like they do.
Howdy folks, my name is Pauline Nesbit. My love for horses all started on a little farm in Wisconsin, but it was at the age of 13 that I rode my first bronc while visiting family friends in Texas. I had no idea getting on that bronc that day would change my life forever. Just 4 short years later, I began my career and was bronc riding in rodeos. There was this one time I was at a rodeo in San Antonio, Texas, and I saw Tad Lucas trick ride. She was amazing. I was so fascinated with her performance that I too started trick riding. In fact, my shoulder stands, under the belly stunts, and spectacular quadrille routines were quickly known around the world. Life was going great. My career was really taking off. And then, it happened. Yep, it's what all dads warn their daughters about. I think it's their greatest fear. I fell in love with a rodeo clown named Jimmy.
In 1929, I married that clown, and it was shortly after we were married that Jimmy persuaded me to give up on bronc riding and pursue my career in trick riding. It was a good thing, too, because little did we know, but women were about to be banned from competing in rough stock events completely. Jimmy and I were a great team. We would pack up his mule, my paint, and our lapdog Tiny, and travel the world performing at rodeos. We rode everywhere together, from Madison Square Garden with Gene Autry to Melbourne, Australia. In fact, we even had the chance to ride with the Ringling Brothers Circus for a time. He wowed the crowds with his bullfighting, and I won their hearts with my flair and split-second timing. It was in 1937 that my greatest thrill came. I won my first trick riding championship at the Fort Worth Rodeo. I got to defend that title in 1938. I loved fashion almost as much as I loved trick riding. I made all my own costumes and got to model them for the Sears Roebuck catalog. The more bling, the better. In fact, I even named one of my favorite horses Murray because of the pattern of his spots reminded me of watermarks on silk. After 20 plus years of riding in rodeos, Jimmy and I finally settled down and bought a ranch in Oklahoma, where we raised cattle for the remainder of our years. In 2011, I was inducted into the National Cowgirls Hall of Fame and Museum for my athleticism and horsemanship. Although I wish I could have been around to see that, I know my family is very honored and very proud. Well, I hope you learned a little bit about me, and I'd like to encourage all of you to keep following your dreams, and maybe one day you'll end up in the National Cowgirls Hall of Fame and Museum just like me. Thank you.
Jaden, what is a horse's blind spot?
Unfortunately, at the time, I am not sure what a horse's blind spot is.
Jaden, what is the Cowboy Turtle Association and why was it named that?
The Cowboys Turtle Association was the first name for the PRCA, and it was named that because, they named that because it was starting off pretty slow, so that's why they named it the Cowboys Turtle Association.
How are women in rodeo influential?
Women in rodeo are influential to me because they show that they're tough and they can do anything a boy can do.
As a young girl, I always dreamed about riding a horse. And when I finally threw my leg over one lovable horse named Rebel and sat deep in the saddle, the seeds were planted. And soon those seeds grew into dreams of riding in the rodeo. Today we commonly see women in either breakaway roping or barrel racing. But in the early days of rodeo, there were cowgirls, believe it or not, riding broncs. And in 1915, there was a new rookie about to be a pro rodeo star when she slid onto her first ever bronc that goes by the name Silver, a big bay gelding. And when she slid into the chute and on into the saddle, she grabbed the bronc rein, nodded her head, and held on for the long 8 seconds. Although they couldn't make the 8-second ride, the crowd was astonished to see who the ride was. And as she lifted herself out of the dirt and dusted herself off, the crowd became louder and louder as the name Bonnie McCarroll was called. Now, Bonnie McCarroll was not an ordinary cowgirl. To me, she was and still is a legend. A legend in not only bronc riding and bulldogging, but also automobile jumping, something I never thought could be possible. But in reality, anything is possible if you set your mind to it. Whenever us cowgirls and cowboys enter a rodeo arena, we set our minds to the best we could possibly do. And even we believe in ourselves, push past our fears, and even if some rodeos don't go as planned, we keep our head held high. I can just imagine Bonnie climbing over the chute on top of her given bronc, grabbing the bronc rein and holding on for the long 8 seconds. And believe me when I say, she wasn't coming off that bronc until she heard the buzzer going off. Bonnie set so many standards to her everyday life, and even though some rodeos didn't go as planned, she would keep her head held high, and each rodeo after, she would push and believe in herself to help her get better and stronger in her bronc riding event. And even sometimes, she'd get called crazy for riding them broncs. Now, I may not be a professional bronc rider or in the pro rodeo circuit yet, but I like to think of my life as a saddle bronc ride. Life is about taking chances and living for the adrenaline that comes with it. Unfortunately, on September 29th, 1929, we lost not only an outstanding cowgirl, but a legend, to a devastating fall off a bronc named Black Cat that soon led the Pendleton Rodeo, no longer allowing cowgirls to ride broncs, not even for exposition rides. She left behind a legacy that helped pave the road for women's professional rodeo. We lost a tough cowgirl and a strong-hearted woman that was determined to accomplish her dreams and goals. And even cut short, her dreams are now reality in the WPRA and the Hall of Fame. I now feel more honored to enter any rodeo arena, even if it's just for chasing barrels. Bonnie McCarroll, a bronc rider, bulldogger, steer riding legend, opened the gate for me. Proof that legends never really die. Thank you.
Lindsay, what is the Justin Cowboy Crisis Fund?
The Justin Cowboy Justice Fund is an association that is to help raise fundraisers for the event of rodeo.
How is capillary refill time determined?
Unfortunately, I do not know that answer, but I do know that in bull riding, if you touch any part of the bull, you are disqualified.
What do you think the biggest challenge faced by youth today is?
I believe that the biggest challenge that is faced against youth today is leadership. Some, as girls, some people don't believe in them as much as people think that they really are able to do. And I believe that girls can do absolutely anything that they set their mind to.
Hey Nicole, it's a big day for you today. You're giving up your crown, but we wanted to ask you a little bit about your year and how much fun you've had. So can you tell me a little bit about the best part about your year?
There were so many amazing moments this year. It was truly just such a blast and blessing to have this title. the Valley Center Rodeo definitely have to be my favorite weekend. We got to be so involved, running flags, riding donkeys, the dance afterwards was a blast. It was just a really great year, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
You know, you're having to say goodbye to your court. Can you tell me a little bit about, you know, the friendships you make, the sisterhood you guys form? What is so great about having a rodeo queen court?
This court is amazing. You come into this, like, I didn't know anyone coming into this, and I left with a ton of friends. Through the year, you know, the first event is always kind of like small talking to know each other, but as the year goes on, we definitely learned a lot about each other and became really good friends, and I think we'll be friends for a long time.
I'm about to tell you about a lady who was a bronc bustin', farmer's daughter, trailblazing, rodeo riding, legendary cowgirl, while also being a wife, mother, title holder, and role model to women in and outside of rodeo. Her name was Marie Gibson, and at 16, she started trick riding and performing locally in her hometown of Haverly, Montana. Many close friends and family encouraged and supported her while she was performing, including legendary cowboy Long George Francis, first known as the King of Cowboys. A few years later, when her husband retired and her kids were still being raised, she needed a way to earn a living. What do you think she did? Housekeeping? Sewing maybe? Well, not Marie. She had a special way of thinking outside the chute, because she decided to ride wild, bucking broncs and rodeos, risking her life with every single ride. In 1933, she made an amazing ride on a bronc at a rodeo in Idaho. But, as the 8-second buzzer went off, her bronc was still bucking with all its strength. And as a pickup man rode over to assist her off the animal, their two horses collided, causing Marie's bronc to lose its balance and fall on top of her. Marie hit her head, fatally crushing her skull. On a personal note, I realized this exact same thing could have happened to me 6 months ago, when my horse Mindy spooked, reared, lost her balance, and fell on top of me. After my very first ambulance ride and 11 hours in the emergency room, I was finally wheelchaired out of there with just a mild concussion and a lot of bruises. Many people came up to me after that, telling me how lucky I was that the situation wasn't worse. But to be honest, I don't really believe that I was lucky, because I know that I was downright blessed. Marie's life in the 1930s really made me realize that we can do anything as long as we have family and friends at our side and God in our hearts.
Paisley, what is the Justin Cowboy Crisis Fund?
The Justin Cowboy Crisis Fund is a company that supports downed cowboys that got injured in rodeo and need help with their finances.
How is capillary refill time determined?
I'm not exactly sure what that is.
What do you think the biggest challenge faced by youth today is?
I think the biggest challenge is probably peer pressure on social media. There's a lot of, well, why don't you do this, why don't you do that? But you really got to stick to what you want your presence, local presence to look like, which is probably a good person. So you got to really stick with your morals.
Thank you.
Thank you. William Shakespeare wrote, "A rose by any other name would smell as sweet." Well, old Willie never met my favorite rose, Prairie Rose Henderson, who is also now one of my heroes. Please step back in time with me and try to imagine what it must have been like for Mr. and Mrs. Robbins, struggling to run a ranch in the Wyoming Territory, late 1800s. This part of the country wasn't even a state yet, and it was known to be as dangerous as it was beautiful. And Mr. Robbins knew he would need a large family of boys to help him run it right. As life would have it, they had a precious little girl who they named Anne. She learned to rope, ride, and work just like the cowboys her father hired. By the age of 15, she took her riding skills to town and began competing in relay and flat races, as well as mounted competitions like bronc riding, which wasn't a sport that women did in this time in history. But that was okay with Anne, because bustin' broncs, along with the perception of what a woman should do, was exactly the kind of woman she wanted to be. Her success eventually led her to a competition we all know now as the daddy of them all, the Cheyenne Frontier Days Rodeo. Attending this prestigious event earned Anne a new nickname, some well-deserved fame, and eventually a world champion saddle bronc title. That's right, little old Anne from Robbins Ranch became known as Prairie Rose, one of the first professional female bronc riders and one of the first professional female athletes to boot. Showcasing her gymnastic abilities on horseback while dazzling crowds from Nebraska to Los Angeles, Prairie Rose won the hearts of America, performing in Wild West shows while earning belt buckles, awards, and championship titles along the way. She even knew how to stand out in a crowd, wearing everything from feathers to furs and leathers and sequins. I guess you can say Prairie Rose was one of the original rodeo queens. Now, every good ride and story must come to an end. And much like her life, her death was wrapped in rumors, mystery, and legend. Some say she got in an accident on her way to a rodeo, while others say she got caught in a surprise snowstorm while looking for a lost pony. Either way, the rodeo world lost an amazing hero and legend, and Prairie Rose went missing. Nearly 6 years later, there was no doubt that it was Prairie Rose because of the World Championship title buckle that she still had on. This record-breaking Western diva of a cowgirl is a legend and is a hero to every woman who bravely follows in her boots. So, I guess William Shakespeare was right. A rose, by any other name, even Anne or Prairie, is still a rose, just as sweet.
Chelsea, name an event where it is possible to receive a 15-second penalty and what is required to receive those penalties.
An event where you can gain a 15-second penalty is barrel racing, and this would be by knocking down all 3 of the barrels during the event.
What is the weight range for a tie-down calf?
A tie-down calf is between 230 and 260 pounds.
Chelsea, Through recent years, breakaway roping has begun to make its appearance into PRCA rodeos, increasing the equality and competition between men and women in rodeo. How do you think women's role in the sport will evolve over time?
I feel that women's roles will evolve over time because breakaway roping is a great opportunity to bring women into the arena. We used to just have barrel racing, but now we also have the breakaway roping, which brings a new variety of women in that don't have to just focus on one event. I feel this will also help the PRCA and the WPI bring more women's sports in. We might even see them begin doing bronc riding again, or even team roping. You'll never know, but I can see the sport is growing and women are becoming more involved, and I'm excited to see the future.
Janae, it's the day of the 2020 pageant, which means it's time for you to give your final walk and hand over your crown. How are you feeling?
I have a mixture of both gratitude and sadness, but compassion. I have a lot of feelings going on right now, kind of a whirlwind of emotions, a tornado, if you will. But I am so excited to see what girl comes after me, what she'll do. I know either one of these girls, McKenna, Chelsea, or Haley, will do an amazing job. And I am so excited to see what they'll do for the Valley Center Stampede Rodeo.
Well, I had the privilege of crowning you last year, and we are so proud of you and all that you've done. You have been an amazing role model. You've done an amazing job all year. You've had some strange circumstances where you've kind of had to adapt to not being able to see people in person and go to rodeos in person. What are some things that you've done to adapt to this and to, change things up to be able to reach that audience?
Social media is a great tool to use when you can't go out and see people because they have it at their fingertips. They can see you wherever they are. If they're at home or if they're at work, they're able to still connect with you, which is a big part of being a rodeo queen. Your job is to connect with people and still teach them what the sport of rodeo is. So me personally, I did a whole bunch of live streams. I did it every Saturday for I think a month and a half, I want to say, where I read children's books. I talked about rodeo. I tacked up my horse. I groomed my horse. Still giving people that rodeo and cowboy experience while in the comfort of their home.
When you think of a cowgirl, chances are Frances Rosenthal Callison is not the first woman you would think of. In fact, you may never even have heard of her. She was a proud Texan who owned a prize-winning herd of polled Hereford cattle and bred and rode Palomino horses on her San Antonio ranch. She served on numerous community boards and created charities for those in need on a local and statewide level. Mrs. and all while in true Victorian fashion, never left the house without donning her white gloves. Mrs. Callison was a true Western icon and paved the way for women today to be recognized as the Western icons they are and embody the Western spirit. In her incredible 98-year lifespan, Mrs. Callison faced many different challenges that she had to overcome, such as the women getting the right to vote with the 19th Amendment in the United States, the Spanish flu, the Great Depression in the late 1920s, and World War I and II. Though these were a few challenges that she faced over her lifetime, she was still able to bring passion, courage, and conviction to her community and to her state. Although Mrs. Callison and I don't share the exact same life, we do have one thing in common, that being our tremendous sense of duty. Being a full-time college student, balancing caring for my 4 horses and other numerous livestock, and balancing my 2 ranching jobs is no easy task. But just as Ms. Calliston balanced her job at her college education at Vassar College in the University of Chicago, being a Jewish community leader in her community, all while being in her community, and being able to represent her state as a Jewish community leader, I know that all my hard work will one day pay off, and that I will be able to represent my community as a great community outlook and leader. During her lifespan, Mrs. Calliston was able to become an incredible... Her passion, her courage, and her resilience is what brought her to the attention of the National Cowgirl Hall of Fame and Museum. This Jewish community leader, her family was the first family in Texas to own a large portion of ranch land in Texas. She defined her history in Texas by being able to tell her family's story, all while being able to educate the public about Jewish history in Texas. As she was able to educate the public, I would like to educate the youth of my community by being an agriculture educator and educating the youth about how important agriculture is in our community today, as it is one of the strong suits of the United States. Mrs. Calliston was a true Western icon and paved the way for women today to become true independent forces, and I am proud to have shared a small part of Mrs. Calliston's story. Thank you.
Haley, name an event where it is possible to receive a 15-second penalty and what is required to receive those penalties.
The event that is possible to receive a 15-second penalty is in barrel racing. After each barrel is knocked down, the barrel racer gets a 5-second penalty for each barrel hit, which can add to a total of 15 seconds onto her time.
Haley, what is the weight range for a tie-down calf?
The weight range for a tie-down calf is between 200 pounds and 250 pounds.
Haley, through recent years, breakaway roping has begun to make its appearance into PRCA rodeos, increasing the equality and competition between men and women in rodeo. How do you think women's role in the sport will evolve over time?
I think that the adding of the breakaway roping in our rodeo industry is very important, and it is spotlighting a lot of women rodeo stars who don't get to shine in other events such as steer wrestling, tie-down roping, and other events. So I think the women's breakaway roping will be a very good avenue for women to get more involved in the rodeo and to show our strengths, because we are tough as nails, and we are women, and we are strong. So I think that the breakaway roping will be an excellent example of how women can get more involved in rodeo and to keep the rodeo knowledge alive.
Thank you, Haley.
Thank you.
A year ago, you were up here on this stage, you're in these boots. How are these contestants feeling?
I can guarantee you that every single one of these girls is feeling nervous, shaking in their boots, if you will. But I know all these girls have prepared so much, and I am so incredibly proud of all of you. You girls have done an amazing job, and I'm so excited to see what you'll do with this pageant.
We are so proud of our contestants. They've done a lot of work, you know as well as anyone how much work goes into this. So tell us a little bit about that, the preparation, the things they have to study. They're being asked some pretty tough questions. How did you prepare for that?
I did a lot of preparing. It was kind of difficult because I was in my senior year of high school when I was competing for this title, so I had a lot of testing going on. I was doing track and field, I was working. So having that schedule of, okay, this day I'm going to study rodeo knowledge, tomorrow I'm going to study equine, I'm going to do rodeo terminology, everything, learning parts of tack, just keeping that schedule is what really, really helped me, because I was able to cover all those bases instead of stressing out, oh, what did I do yesterday? Did I study this already? I can't remember. Did I? I don't know. So having that schedule really, really helped me.
floors, work boots open doors, and miles of John Deere green, freedom far as I can see. The road to run and road to breathe, that's who I am and I'll always be. Caught up in the country.
A spark of passion wells up in her veins. A wild glint flashes into her eyes. She's quick-witted, strong, and gritty. She has no second thoughts, no remorse, and no time to waste. She's jumped off buildings, dove deep into the ocean, and written all about it. Her goal was to be the best-known woman west of the Mississippi, and that's exactly what she was. She's a National Cowgirl Hall of Fame inductee. Her name is Carolyn Lockhart. Now, Miss Lockhart is known for being just a little wild, with a vigorous imagination and feisty spirit. She believed in hard work and dedication to the sport and the way of life we love. Now let me take you back to 1919. Place, Cody, Wyoming, rodeo capital of the world. Caroline and her partner in crime, Buffalo Bill, founded the Cody Stampede, although they couldn't decide if they wanted to call it a rodeo or a rodeo, so they settled on a good old stampede instead. With Caroline's personality, it's only fitting she became the first female rodeo board president. Over the years, Caroline's interest expanded into the cattle industry, where her small 160-acre ranch rapidly grew into 6,000 acres, with her steers topping the Omaha market in 1935, giving her the title of Cattle Queen. 6,000 acres of rugged Montana land were tended to by her body. 7 novels, short stories, and countless articles were written by her hands. They called her bossy. She continued to be assertive. They called her crass. She continued to be honest. They called her wild. She continued to live the life she wanted. She may have been known for being a little tough, having a lot of grit, and being very sassy. But at least you knew her. She is forever a part of rodeo history. Because, as they say, well-behaved women rarely make history. She broke into a man's world, paving the way for women in the Western lifestyle. 100 years later, a female roper stands in front of you, seeing the incredible changes happening for women in the rodeo industry today. I admire the strong cowgirls of the past, for their spirit lives inside every cowgirl who steps foot into an arena. As Chris Cagle says it, let there be cowgirls for every cowboy and make them strong as any man.
McKenna, name an event where it is possible to receive a 15-second penalty and what is required to receive those penalties.
You can receive a penalty in barrel racing for 15 seconds if you knock every single barrel over.
McKenna, what is the weight range for a tie-down calf?
I'm not entirely sure, but I would like to say that the weight range is between 360 and 400 pounds.
McKenna, through recent years, breakaway roping has begun to make its appearance into PRCA rodeos, increasing the equality and competition between men and women in rodeo. How do you think women's role in the sport will evolve over time?
Well, coming from a breakaway person myself, I was worried that after high school rodeo, junior rodeo, and college rodeo, what was I going to do? Because at the moment in time, I don't barrel race. So I was worried that I wouldn't have a place in the professional rodeo world. And today, I'm seeing women take over the sport of rodeo with breakaway. And I think it's a great thing for women to step forward and believe in what they want to do, and they got it done. So I'm very thankful for those women like Jackie Hobbs Crawford that's taken that step.
Thank you, McKenna.
Somewhere where the road ends, out there where the creek bends, that's where you can.
We just concluded the speech, modeling, and impromptu portion of our pageant. We are so proud of each and every one of these contestants. We would now like to bring the 2019 court for their final walks. They will be doing a final walk, and we are going to be giving them some prizes and some recognition for a fantastic year and a job well done.
Wow, this year has gone by in a flash. I had so much fun. One of my favorite things was going to all the many events, meeting people, and helping to support the sport of rodeo. I loved taking photos with rodeo fans, signing autographs, and sharing rodeo knowledge. I even got to sign a couple cowboy hats. Looking back at this year, of course, my favorite rodeo was our very own Valley Center Stampede Rodeo. For me, it was extra special because I was able to dust my brother off after his wild mutton-busting ride. I was also able to ride my horse Buttercup in the rodeo arena during Happy Trails. It was a perfect way to end the fun rodeo weekend in my hometown. My favorite parades were in Valley Center, seeing all the familiar places, and the 4th of July parade in Coronado. People lined both sides of the street, and there was red, white, and blue everywhere. Along the parade route, people started cheering. Come to find out, Buttercup pooped in one of the chalk circles. I'm not sure what they won, but I thought that was funny. We ended the rodeo season by attending the NFR. I loved meeting the 2020 Miss Rodeo America contestants, cheering on our hometown favorite, and signing tear sheets at the Cowboy Christmas. My thank yous. Thank you to young Miss Sanaya, Shanae. I love laughing with you and being silly. One thing that I thought was really funny during our year was hearing our names being announced at rodeos, parades, and events. The way our names were pronounced made me laugh. My junior queen, Nicole. I like to call her Nickel. Thank you for always making me feel included no matter where we were. You treated me like a little sister, and we became traveling buddies to places like the California Circuit Finals, Banning, and the NFR, to name a few. To my queen, Janae, thank you for being a great role model for the sport of rodeo. One of my favorite memories with you was in the Remax hot air balloon and you catching my hat in the jumpy. Thank you for teaching me how to line dance at the Valley Center Stampede Rodeo Dance. To my queen director, Julie, you made this experience so much fun. Thank you for letting us be involved in so many events and for always making us laugh. To the rodeo committee, thank you for putting together such a memorable rodeo and for helping my year be great. Thank you to all my family and friends for your support this past year. To my mama, papa, and brother Gabriel, thank you for always getting me to where I needed to be and for supporting what I want to do. Gabriel, I want to tell you that I love you and you are a great brother for always coming to my meetings, horsemanship, and other events to follow me around. Thank you for always going with the flow and making us laugh. To the 2020 Valley Center Stampede Rodeo, Little Miss. Hold on and have fun. You're about to see how time flies. So after all that, I'll ask you, how do you make time fly? You throw a clock out the window. But in my case, you become a rodeo queen for a year. That's how I make time. That's how you make time fly. Thank you.
I always have fun getting to know these girls. Once they're crowned, we kind of become like this big family for a year and run around all over San Diego and Southern California. And Adele was everywhere she needed to be. She was always queened out, looking beautiful. And the best thing, not only is she like really cute and tiny, she has this really big horse that she rides, Buttercup, and she's out there like totally handling it, killing it in the parades, happy trails. It was just adorable. And the best thing is with Adele, you get her brother. So Gabriel, thank you. He's the best little rodeo clown. In a lot of the parades, you could see him on his bicycle, that he put some steer horns on the front, and he pedaled his way down that parade route dressed as a rodeo clown. He got more cheers than the poor girls. He would fall off the bike. It was like adorable. So Adele, thank you, and thank you to the Perpetual family for always being there, having fun with us. And thank you, Gabriel. So on the table we have a few gifts for you, Adele. Thank you. I hope what's in the bag is something you can keep forever and remember your experience as our Valley Center Stampede Rodeo Little Miss. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2019 Valley Center Stampede Rodeo Little Miss, Adele Perpetua.
Good morning, everyone. I've been so honored to represent my hometown, Valley Center, this past year as your 2019 Valley Center Stampede Rodeo Young Miss. It has been such a fun and amazing year representing this title. I had a blast going to rodeos all over Southern California, from the 4 rodeo performances and parade in Lakeside to getting to run the American flag at a Southern California Youth Bull Riders event. There is never a dull moment. One of my favorite memories is when my horse Biscuit and I got to ride in the Valley Center Rodeo and be behind the scenes for it all. I've made a bunch of new memories and friends that I will never forget. I would like to take this time to thank each of my sister queens for making my year even more exciting and fun. Adele, thank you for all the memories and jokes this year. You're truly my little sidekick, and I wouldn't trade our fun car rides and funnel cake missions for the world. Nicole, thanks for having a smile that can always brighten my day, and for always laughing at my jokes, even if they really aren't that funny. Janae, thank you for being such an amazing person and like a big sister figure. I give you big props for putting up with our crazy bunch and always making sure we're in a line, even if it's a conga line. That's still a line, right? I would also like to thank Julie for putting on the pageant each year and for giving girls this opportunity, because it really is life-changing. And last and not least, I would like to thank Lisa for being my rodeo mom, from driving me and Biscuit and I everywhere to make sure I'm fed and even putting up with me when I'm being moody. I am so blessed to have you in my life. Valley Center was such a fun title to hold. While I'm sad to say goodbye for now, I'm also happy to see who will represent this title for 2020. Good luck, girls, and thank you all.
All right, Miss Sanaya, you were a blast. Sanaya, she shows what she's thinking on her face at all times, and she's very fun to confuse. So you could say things and she'd look at you and just go, what? So I had a really good time hanging out with you and trying to say really sarcastic things, and you never really got them. The best thing too about Sanaya is her name's very hard to spell. I have finally figured out how to spell your name, first and last. And for those that you don't know, her little nickname, Shanae, I'm going to date myself, but back in the 90s, there was a show called Martin. There's a character on it called Shanae. So that's you, Miss Sanaya. And one of my favorite memories about her was she showed up at an event, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what happened to your face? She had this huge scar. It was right on your cheek, right? Yeah. So being a queen is a painful job. Aunt Lisa burned her face with the curling iron. So every time you look in the mirror now, you have this permanent scar and you'll think of us. So thank you for doing a great job as our young miss. Thank you. You've been wonderful.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2019 Valley Center Stampede Rodeo Queen, Sanaya Arredondo.
And down south to the land of the pines, I'm thumbing my way into North Carolina, staring up the road and pray to God I see headlights. I made it down the coast in 17 hours, taking me a bouquet of dogwood flowers, and I'm a woman
Oh my goodness, it's been a year already. I have to say the bad thing about these queen pageants is that it makes time go by so fast. I have learned so much this year. It's been amazing. Thank you, girls. One of the things I learned was that 6th grade home ec sewing taught me absolutely nothing when it came to putting patches on shirts. It has truly just been such a privilege to be a part of this organization and to be able to represent such an exceptional rodeo. Thank you to the committee for all the work you put in. Everyone appreciates it, fans and me. Adele, Sanaya, Janae, you girls are so special. We have grown so close this year. I guess I'm gonna cry. Julie, thank you for all you do. You are such an honest and fun person to be around. Truly one of a kind, and I love you. Thank you. Blessed to have you in my life. Adele, you are a sassy, smart, amazing rider, and you have become like a second little sister to me. Your family, I feel like you don't just get Adele, it's the whole family. You all have been so kind, letting me ride to rodeos and things with you. Sanaya, you are such a goofball. It's so fun to mess around with you, like Julie said. I loved at the Poway Rodeo, we were staying there at the Challenge Children's Rodeo, and Sanaya was trying to juggle. And then she was trying to play cornhole, and she was like throwing the beanbag as hard as she possibly could. And I think she almost hit someone. Yeah, Janae. You girls are just so special. Thank you for all you do. Being part of my life, keeping my head on straight, helping me with my hat, because we know I can be kind of a hot mess sometimes. Thank you, Mama. I know I pushed your buttons. I know you hate my last minute, like last night, getting this dress put together, 11 o'clock at night. from going to rodeos, taking up all your time. I'm guessing you probably wish you'd push soccer a little harder than horses. But thank you for all that you do. Thank you to everyone who has stood behind me this year. And good luck to the next girl who takes home this title. You will do great. I know either of you will just have so much fun. So thank you.
So I don't cry much. You almost got me going. So you kind of came into it, no one really knew who you were, you know. And that first event we went to at the Remax office and going up in the hot air balloon, I think everyone was kind of like, I don't know, who are these girls? And I loved by the end, you guys were all like wearing the silly glasses and goofing off and in the bounce house. And you could tell that you guys were going to have these lifelong friendships. And I love that every time I saw you in a rodeo arena, you have that huge smile. Just this big smile. Your horse could be doing anything, bouncing around, whatever, you're smiling. It's just been wonderful to watch you, and I think that you have a big future ahead of you. Whether or not it's in the queen world, something horsey you're gonna do. So I encourage you to, you know, keep up with your passions, and, you know, you're an exceptional young lady. So thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2019 Valley Center Stampede Rodeo Junior Queen, Nicole Bell.
I'm gonna try not to cry. That's not gonna work. Good morning, ladies, gentlemen, rodeo and rodeo queen enthusiasts. My name is Janae Wallace, and I'm your 2019 Valley Center Stampede Rodeo Queen. Already. It has been quite the year traveling around Southern California representing my wonderful hometown. I was always told that the year goes by fast, but I did not expect it to go as fast as it did. Having this crown on my head has given me so many opportunities that I am extremely grateful for. From going to schools that I once attended to touring Camp Pendleton. Of course, there were so many people that helped me along this journey. They were right when they say it takes a village, so I'd like to thank my village. Thank you to my parents for hauling Rock Band and I across Southern California, for letting me use the truck that was originally going to be used for going fishing as a mobile hair and makeup desk, for letting me miss desert and river trips to go to rodeos. Your support means the world to me. Thank you to not only my sash sister, but my best friend Vanessa, who was your 2019 Miss Valley Center. I am so glad we got to be on this journey together. Thank you, Madison, for all that you did during your reign as the 2018 Valley Center Queen and as Miss Rodeo California. You were a role model for so many, myself included. Thank you to the Valley Center Stampede Rodeo Committee for all of your continued support. I hope I represented you well. Now for my Queen family. Adele, Deli, you are one of a kind. You have constantly amazed me this year with the amount of poise, knowledge, kindness, and your ability to give me a sassy remark, all with the sweetest smile. Thank you for always being there to give your input when I ask how my wings look and for straightening my crown. You have done such an amazing job this year, and I cannot wait to see what you will do in the future, hopefully with the Miss Rodeo America crown on your head. Sanaya, Shanae, your ability to make anyone and everyone laugh at any given moment has been one of the best parts of having you as my young miss this year. Whenever there was a dull moment, your jokes always lit up the room. I remember I wasn't having the best day at a rodeo, and while we were standing in the back, you and Adele danced around to make me smile. I never once heard you complain unless it was at a chamber event, and it was always, "I'm hungry, can you go get food with me?" I'm going to miss your laughter that I heard so much of this past year, but I know today won't be the last time I hear it. Nicole, Nick, where do I even start? This past year wouldn't have been the same without you. I didn't know how close we would get at the beginning of our year together, but I am so glad we grew so close. You impress me daily, and I could go off on a tangent of how, give me one second. But the main trait that I am blown away by is the quiet confidence you have horseback. You are one of the best riders that I have seen, and I am so proud of you. You are going to do so many amazing things in the future, and I am so excited to see what you'll accomplish. Thank you for being right by my side at all our events and rodeos. I am so glad that I got to share this experience with you. I wouldn't want to be confused for anybody else. There was someone else that I would like to thank tonight, but they were unable to attend, and I have a gift for them. So Julie, this is for you. For those of you that don't know, my horse Rock Band damaged his lateral suspensory bundle the day of the Valley Center Stampede Rodeo, and I was left horseless less than 2 hours before the rodeo. However, there was a knight in not so shining armor that came to my rescue, a 15-3 Azteca named Prince. Prince is Julie and Sam's horse that they so graciously let me use for a good part of my reign while my roning pony was out. Prince was always there when I needed him and always did a great job traveling with me around California. He was always ready to step up when he was needed, not only with me, but with other queens as well. So I wanted to present this Prince Award to him, and I want to read the scribing on it. So it's an antique trophy that I had engraved. It says, "The Prince Cup, in recognition of this noble steed for his dedication to carrying rodeo queens. Presented to this dancing horse July 11th, 2020. Thank you, Julie and Sam, for letting me use him. He has become one of my favorite horses to ride, and I will always remember him as my knight that came to my rescue. There's also another gift for you. I have a gift certificate for LR Leatherworks here in Valley Center for $160 so you could get a custom-made belt for your buckle. I know that's what you wanted. And there's another gift that's from all the contestants. It's right over there. It's a box of 2 bottles of wine. So I'm sure you'll love that. Thank you for everything that you've done this year. You've become she's almost like an aunt to me now. Like, you know those fun aunts that you see and just always have a blast with? That's you. While the year has come and gone, I will never forget the memories that I have made with the countless people that I have met. This experience is one that I have dreamed about for years, and to say that I did it is an amazing feeling to have. The feeling that I have now is bittersweet, but I know that Chelsea, Haley, or McKenna will do an amazing job as one of them takes my place. Thank you, Valley Center, for letting me represent you this past year. I am forever grateful for this town. As I continue my path down the rodeo trail and through my life, I know this will always be one of my favorite memories of my life, and I will never forget it. I promise this won't be the last time you see me with a crown on my head, but this is my last time saying, I will see you along the rodeo trail as your 2019 Valley Center Stampede Rodeo Queen, Janae Wallace. Every year, or started last year, Madison donated this Tough Enough to Wear Pink Valley Center Stampede Rodeo Queen sash. She donated it in memory of Laura Talbot. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Laura Talbot was always there by Madison's side. She made all of her dresses and was always there for inputs. Madison always came to her for her opinion and everything, and she was a great friend to her. So she donated this to give to Queens as a perpetual item. Laura Talbot unfortunately passed away before the Miss Rodeo California pageant in 2019. She passed away in August, but this of course is in memory of her. And the Wrangler patch up top is from the Miss Rodeo America pageant. So of course I am giving this down to the next queen, but I want to talk about somebody that has also brought very many memories into my life. Her name is Leah Ray. She was my horse trainer when I was younger, and she was diagnosed with breast cancer twice. She just got diagnosed again, and she found out that she will be living with it forever. She has always been there by my side, and anytime that I put on this sash, I always thought of her, and I never told anybody about it, but here I am telling you all today. So thank you, Leah. I know you're watching. And then there's a patriotic sash as well. For years, the Valley Center Stampede Rodeo Queens have only had a black and white sash, but I wanted to make sure that they had a sash for every single event that they could go to. Patriotism it's the number one thing in rodeo. You are a patriot. You live for this country. You honor those that have died for this country. So I hope whoever wears this sash next, I hope you understand the meaning behind it and you feel proud to be an American every time you put it on.
Janae, you have been wonderful. You're such a sweet, kind person, and I probably scared you a little bit because I'm not sweet and kind sometimes. But I hitched a ride with them to a lot of rodeos. We had a blast going to circuit finals together. Her mother let me take her with just me. So no parental there. We had fun. We had a little trouble finding the hotel room. At first it was like just an empty field. We were kind of laughing about that. I don't know where her mother was trying to make us stay. But we did find it eventually. Your gift for Prince is wonderful. I will cherish that for the rest of my life. I had so much pride watching you ride him in the rodeos, and seeing the two of you carry the Stampede flag at circuit finals was something I'll never forget. It really made me proud. So thank you. We couldn't have asked for a better queen. I hope that you really do go on and continue competing in pageants. I know every rodeo we went to, the other directors were like, who's your queen? You were kind of that kid that came out of nowhere. We're like, we don't know who she is, but she's really good. So, so thank you. And then Joyce, I'm gonna bring up. So don't leave yet.
Stand there. Okay. Hi there. We want to, as the rodeo committee president, we'd like to say thank you. You're going to be our first queen that will ever receive a scholarship. We can't hand it to you. A scholarship for $2,000 so you can continue on. And we appreciate all your hard work. Thank you.
Bernie, can we get a thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2019 Valley Center Stampede Rodeo Queen, Janae Wallace. Thank you, Janae, for a great year. We just finished up the modeling portion of our pageant. We're all finished with all the different categories of our pageant, and we're moving on to our crowning. We are going to find out who the 2020 court is, and we are so excited for all of these ladies. They have put a lot of work into this, and we want to recognize each and every one for their efforts.
It seems like I end up getting some credit for doing this whole thing, but I really am just good at organizing stuff. So somebody that helped the pageant out immensely was Madison Wagner. So if you can come up on stage, we have something for you. You go up on stage. You've got to go, yeah. So Madison was at all the practices helping the contestants, because again, I can organize. I don't know how to tell them to do their hair. I barely have clean fingernails. Like, she was able to clean them all up and make them a little classy. Not only did she MC our pageant, she really helped in the behind the scenes. We could not have done it without you, Madison. So we have a special gift certificate for you and a lovely bouquet, and we just want to tell you thank you. You were wonderful. And then the next person that I want to call up is our photographer, Ernie Tyler. So Ernie, for those of you that don't know, he actually took the photo of Madison for California that's actually on our big billboard in front of the rodeo grounds. It's a beautiful photo that you drive by every day. So he's really good at photos. He's a scientist at heart, but he's super fun to talk history with. Like, I love U.S. history, and talking with Ernie at the practices has been so much fun. And so Ernie, thank you. Ernie actually was kind enough to suffer through a lot of our practices with us, and he actually enjoyed himself. We got you a special belt buckle so you can remember the cowgirls that you came and hung out with. We appreciate you. Thank you, Ernie.
Well, now it's the very big moment that we've all been waiting for. Once again, I'd like to say a huge shout out to these contestants who have done so much work to get here. They are amazing contestants. We actually have gift bags for each and every one of you, so make sure before you go you grab the red bag over here. It's got a bunch of goodies in it for you guys because we're so thankful for each and every one of you. We're going to start with our 2020 Valley Center Stampede Rodeo Queen Awards. And these awards actually go across all of the categories, so all of the girls were eligible for these first awards. We have our Outstanding Marketing Award. Our Outstanding Marketing Award goes to Kate Murphy. Take a picture. Of course, good job. And that was our Outstanding Marketing Award. Yeah. The Outstanding Marketing Award goes to the girl who raises the most amount of sponsorships for the pageant. This year, both our first and second place were absolutely phenomenal in raising sponsorships for the pageant. Our first and second place raised almost $4,000 collectively. And they were only $25 apart in their fundraising. Because of this, we decided to give the Outstanding Ticket Sale to change it to the second place Outstanding Marketing Award, and that goes to Kaisley Ramelli. And once again, the sponsorships are the most important part of this pageant. That is, where all the awards comes from. That's where all their prizes come from. And these two girls have done an exceptional job. Good job, Kaisley and Kate. Our Miss Congeniality goes to the girl with the best attitude who makes the most friends throughout the pageant with her great personality. Our Miss Congeniality is Sophia Flores. Your Miss Congeniality, Sophia Flores. Our Most Improved category goes to the girl who we believe has made the most amount of improvements since the start of the pageant. She has done everything she could to improve her horsemanship skills, her modeling, and every other important aspect of the pageant. Our Most Improved is Haley Berkness. Your Most Improved, Haley Berkness. Our 2020 Valley Center Stampede Rodeo Little Miss categories. The Horsemanship Award goes to the little girl who has the best horsemanship. Our horsemanship winner is Catherine Jones. Your Little Miss Horsemanship winner, Catherine Jones. The Little Miss Speech Award goes to the little girl with the best speech. Your speech award goes to Grace Haig. Your speech award winner, Grace Haig. The interview this year was conducted during the horsemanship portion of the pageant. Normally, our interviews are conducted behind closed doors with the judges, but this year, our contestants had the added difficulty of being on their horses during their entire interview. So the interview award goes to the little girl with the best interview skills. Our interview award goes to Catherine Jones. Your interview category winner, Catherine Jones.
The Little Miss Appearance Award goes to the little girl with the best fashion wardrobe. Your appearance winner is Catherine Jones. The highest test score goes to the little girl who has the best test score. Every single one had to take a very intense written test, which encompassed rodeo history, Valley Center history, all sorts of stuff. The little girl with the highest test score is Catherine Jones. Your highest test score, Catherine Jones. The Personality Award goes to the little girl with the best and brightest personality, who wants to tell them all about her life and who she is. Our personality score goes to Catherine Jones. Your personality winner, Catherine Jones. The Most Photogenic Award goes to the person with the best photo. Your photogenic is Catherine Jones. Your most photogenic, Catherine Jones. We are now about to announce our 2020 Valley Center Stampede Rodeo Little Miss. When we announce this, we would like their parent, or a parent or guardian, to come up and crown them so that we don't have any non-family members near them. So when I announce the winner, can one of her family members please come up and crown? Your 2020 Valley Center Stampede Rodeo Little Miss, Catherine Jones. Your 2020 Valley Center Stampede Rodeo Little Miss, Catherine Jones. We will now start with our 2020 Valley Center Stampede Rodeo Young Miss Awards. Your Horsemanship Award winner, Kate Murphy. Your Horsemanship winner, Kate Murphy. Your Speech winner, Kate Murphy. Your Speech Award winner, Kate Murphy. Your Interview Award winner, Kate Murphy. Your Interview Award winner, Kate Murphy. Your Appearance Award winner, Kate Murphy. Your Appearance Award winner, Kate Murphy. Your highest test score, Jaden Solis.
Your highest test score, Jaden Solis. Your Personality Award winner, Kate Murphy. Your Personality Award winner, Kate Murphy. Your Most Photogenic Award goes to Stella Erb. Your Most Photogenic, Stella Erb. Your 2020 Valley Center Stampede Rodeo Young Miss, Kate Murphy. Your 2020 Valley Center Stampede Rodeo Young Miss, Kate Murphy. Thank you, Kate. We are now going to begin our awards for our Junior Queen category. Our Horsemanship Award goes to Kaisley Ramelli. Your Horsemanship winner, Kaisley Ramelli. Your Speech Award winner, Kaisley Ramelli. Your Speech Award winner, Kaisley Ramelli. Your Interview Award goes to Kaisley Ramelli. Interview Award, Kaisley Ramelli. Your Appearance Award winner, Lindsay Lacoste. Appearance, Lindsay Lacoste. Your highest test score goes to Kaisley Ramelli. Highest test score, Kaisley Ramelli. Your Personality Award winner, Kaisley Ramelli. Wait, no, stop, and pose and picture. Your Personality Award winner, Kaisley Ramelli. Your Miss Photogenic, Kaisley Ramelli. Most Photogenic, Kaisley Ramelli. Your 2020 Valley Center Stampede Rodeo Junior Queen, Kaisley Ramelli. Your 2020 Valley Center Stampede Rodeo Junior Queen, Kaisley Ramelli. Great job. We are now moving on to our 2020 Valley Center Stampede Rodeo Queen Awards. Your Horsemanship winner, Chelsea Estes. Your horsemanship winner, Chelsea Estes. Your speech award winner, McKenna Highland. Your speech award winner, McKenna Highland. Your interview award winner, McKenna Highland. Your speech award winner, McKenna Highland. Your appearance winner, McKenna Highland. Your appearance winner, McKenna Highland. The highest test score goes to McKenna Highland. Your highest test score, McKenna Highland. Your personality award winner, McKenna Highland. Your personality award winner, McKenna Highland. Your most photogenic award winner, McKenna Highland. Your most photogenic award winner, McKenna Highland. Your 2020 Valley Center Stampede Rodeo Queen, McKenna Highland. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2020 Valley Center Stampede Rodeo Queen, McKenna Highland. At this time, we would like to invite the entire new 2020 Valley Center Stampede Rodeo Court onto stage, socially distanced, of course. Catherine, Kaisley, Kate, 6 feet apart. Yeah, do you want to get up on the front? Sure. That's a nice socially distanced, new age 2020 pageant for sure. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2020 Valley Center Stampede Rodeo Queen Court.
I'm here with our new 2020 Valley Center Stampede Rodeo Little Miss, Catherine Jones. Catherine, you were just crowned our 2020 Little Miss. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling very excited. I didn't think this would happen, and my competitors were really good, and I can't wait to do all the things that the queens have done, and I can't wait to ride and do all those kind of things. So.
I'm with our 2020 Valley Center Stampede Rodeo Young Miss, Kate Murphy. Kate, you just won the title of 2020 Young Miss. How are you feeling?
I am feeling overwhelmed. I cannot get it through my head that I won. It has been so much work and so worth it. It's such a magical experience, and I've made so many friends. It's such a blessing.
I'm here with our 2020 Valley Center Stampede Rodeo Junior Queen, Kaisley Romelli. Kaisley, you just won the title of 2020 Valley Center Stampede Junior Queen. How are you feeling?
So great. It's like a dream come true. I can't believe I just won. I just can't wait to get to know all these girls and become like family to them. And I just love supporting the toughest sport on dirt, and it's going to be so amazing a year.
I'm here with our 2020 Valley Center Stampede Rodeo Queen, McKenna Highland. McKenna, you just won the title of 2020 Valley Center Stampede Rodeo Queen. How are you feeling?
There's been a lot of anticipation over the past few months, and I'm very excited that the hard work and dedication that I've put into this process has paid off for me. I'm extremely excited to represent Valley Center as a whole and Valley Center Stampede. I've heard nothing but great things about the committee members, and I just can't wait to work a year with them.
Well, we're excited to have you, McKenna. Here's to a great year.
We are so excited for the 2020 Queen Court to begin their adventures in the rodeo industry. We are proud of each and every one of these contestants for their hard work and dedication, and they have done an exceptional job representing the Valley Center Stampede Rodeo. We are so proud of all of them, and we are thankful for our sponsors, our pageant director, and all of the amazing people who make it possible to put this pageant on. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for supporting rodeo and our women.
I had a speech, and then I literally deconstructed it and made a whole new one.
Yeah, I remember I was sitting in my mom's office because it was like, I think I had pink eye or something. Oh, I don't know. But,
oh no.
Oh no. But I was sitting there and I was like writing my speech, and then I totally redid it. And a whole different thing, yeah. Yeah.
And my speech is like, I was like,
hey.
No, yeah, it's just like, oh, hello.
So
do we need to move?
So you guys are going to be waiting over here.
Okay.
When you guys get called up, and we're going to do category by category.